Hello, welcome to this video. In this video, we'll go over 2019 April SAT exam, section 3, question 12. Now, as you can see from this question, just taking a quick glance at this question, you can see there's a quadratic equation. So what we think about is, can we do this by factoring? Okay, it looks a little bit complicated. Should we try? And if you think about trying, I would say, well, hold on a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at these choices right here. And if you can see the choices, you can see there's a square root, it's a fraction. Well, what does it look like? It looks like the quadratic formula, right? That's when you see a square root. That's related to a quadratic equation. So I hope you still remember this quadratic formula. Okay, so the choices are giving you a very strong hint that you are going to use the quadratic formula to solve for this. So let's go ahead and say, all right. So we will have the A, B, C values right here. So B is 6 plus or minus square root 6 squared minus 4 times A. A is 4 and C is 1 over 2 times A, which is 4. So just go ahead and compute these numbers very carefully. So you have 36 minus 16 over 8, and that is equal to negative 6 plus or minus square root of 20 over 8. Now, if you stop right here and you look at the choices and you realize that, wait, none of the choices have an 8 in the denominator. What's going on here? Well, what's going on here is that you need to simplify a little bit. And I hope that you can see how square root 20, which I'm going to do on the side, it's equal to square root of 4 times 5. And if you remember how to apply square roots, you can distribute the square roots whenever there's a multiplication underneath the square root. So that is the same thing as writing square root 4 times square root 5. And this is how we have, well, square root 4 is 2. So 2 root 5. So let's go ahead and rewrite this as negative 6 plus or minus 2 square root 5 over 8. Now, this is where things got a little bit more difficult because you have to be very careful in cancellation or reducing. So here we see that these three numbers are all multiples of 2. So that means we can divide the numbers by 2 on all three numbers. So we have 4 right here, we have 3 right here, and then we have a 1 right here. So after this simple reduction, so we have negative 3 plus or minus root 5 over 4. So if you look at the answer choices, well, let's look at the one with the root 5. So let's cross out these two because that cannot be true. And then there's a negative in front of the 3. So therefore, A is the correct answer. So to recap, okay, you need to know the quadratic formula. Now on the SAT, you are expected to know how to solve a quadratic equation by factoring, by quadratic formula, and you may also think about completing the square, which sometimes I would say it might be easier for you to just go ahead and use quadratic formula to avoid mistakes. So the choices, okay, make sure you take a quick skim on the choices. Sometimes they give you a very good hint that what direction you're heading to, so that you don't want to waste time to think about, wait, how are we going to factor? It seems very difficult to factor it out, and it's not really factorable in this case. So make sure you look at the whole picture, not just looking at the quadratic equation. Look at the choices, so that you can have a very easy time to solve this, and be very careful as you do your algebra, you do your arithmetics, as you simplify the quadratic formula expression.
Do you want some extra credit? If you do, subscribe our channel. I promise you will learn a lot more and get extra credit from that. If you have any question, please make sure that you email us at goodacademics@gmail.com. If you have any question in math, science, or education, just send them in and we will do our very best to resolve your problems. And I thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope that you will continue to learn a lot more through our channel. See you soon.